Are your money habits aligned with the stage of life that you're currently in? Just as each season of the year serves a purpose, planting, growing, harvesting, your financial habits need to evolve as you move through different phases of life. Whether you're just starting your career, raising a family, or preparing for retirement, aligning your money habits with life's changes will ensure that you're cultivating wealth at every step. Hello, and welcome to Rise to Your Money Power, where we have honest conversations to empower you around your relationship with money. I'm Pamela Plick, your host, and I'm on a mission to empower women to confidently build wealth from the inside out. I serve purpose driven women to overcome feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or stuck related to their personal relationship with money so that they can become confident, achieve peace of mind, create financial freedom, and impact. And I do this through my signature programs and services, as well as through events and community. Now, just as a farmer knows that every season requires different work, from sowing seeds to harvesting crops, your financial life also shifts through different phases. When you align your money habits with the season of your life, then you create a sustainable financial future. Whether you're building a career, starting a family, preparing for retirement, each phase offers opportunities to plant those seeds of financial growth. Today, we'll explore the financial seasons of life along with practical habits that you can adopt in each stage to ensure that you're always moving closer to financial abundance. The first financial season of life that will help you to create a life of financial abundance is the season of planting, early career, and wealth building. This phase, often in your 20s and 30s, is all about laying that foundation for your financial future. Your focus should be on building healthy financial habits, establishing savings, and investing early. While it might feel like your income is limited during this time, actions will have lasting impact as they compound over the years. Let me give you three tips for for this stage. Start small and invest early. Even small investments will grow over time with the help of compound interest. So the key is to, no matter how small, to just start and to be consistent in your investing so that you will have the opportunity to take advantage of the compounding over time because the earlier you start, the less you have to put away. The second tip is to create a budget and stick to it. Tracking your expenses ensures that you're living within your means. So, making sure that the budget is not only realistic, but it is something that you can actually stick to and to periodically revise so that you can free up more money to be able to contribute to savings and investing. Third tip for this stage is to focus on your high paying debt. So this is a good time to tackle any credit card debt or student loans that you may have so that you can free up future income. Now, one action step that you can take to take advantage of the season of planting is to open a retirement account, such as a 401k or an IRA, and start contributing to it on a regular basis. Even if it's a small amount, start with the amount that you feel that you can afford to contribute. But usually what happens is we can actually contribute more, especially if you're contributing with pre-tax dollars, because you won't actually even miss the amount that's coming out of your paycheck. And then it's important, as you're contributing to the employer-sponsored plan, like an IRA, to make sure that your goal is to take advantage of any employer matching that may be available. So definitely contribute up to at least the amount that your employer is going to match. The second financial season that will help you to create a life of financial abundance is the season of nurturing, family life, and growing responsibilities. Now, in this phase, which is often happens when we're from our 30s to our 50s, where the financial priorities may shift towards supporting a family, maybe purchasing a home, or even saving for your children's education. Your goal during this phase or this stage is to balance growing expenses with savings and investing. So, making sure that you're minimizing those expenses, any expenses that you can, while continuing to save and invest. Now, managing cash flow becomes critical during this stage as you juggle your short-term needs, your needs and your family's needs with your longer-term goals. So, here are three tips for this stage, or to navigate this stage. First, establish an emergency fund. You want to aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses to protect your family from unexpected financial disruptions. And by living expenses, I'm referring to essential living expenses, which includes housing, food, transportation, as well as medical. So if you add those up, look at your budget, add those up, multiply it times 3 or times 6. That's what you want to have in that emergency fund. And the idea is that if you have the 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses set aside in a liquid account, you have that covered. Should there be a financial disruption, maybe you're laid off or there's an income disruption, then it's not going to change your lifestyle over the short term. So it's going to carry you over until you find something new, if it's a job, or until that particular financial disruption is taken care of. Tip two is to invest in insurance. You want to make sure that you're covered. Your risk is covered in at this particular time in your life, whether it's life insurance, health insurance, as well as any disability insurance. That these types of insurance provide protection, essential protection that you need you to take care of you and your family at this stage. And then the third tip is it's time to start planning for college savings. If you have children, you want to start exploring either 529 plans or other tax advantaged education savings accounts, because again, The rule is the earlier you start, the less you have to put away. And I also want to make a note here. Now, if you have a choice, if funds are limited and you only have a choice of whether you save for your retirement, or contribute to your retirement plan versus saving for your child's education, then in terms of priority, you want to save for your retirement because there's only a limited time frame for you to start to save and amass the amount that you need to have once you're ready to retire. And there are other options, if funds are limited and you may not be able to start contributing right away for your child's education, there are other options to help your child pay for education. But overall, this is a good time to start planning and thinking about your child's education. One action step that you can take during the season of nurturing is to set up a monthly budget that includes automated savings for both your short term goals as well as any long term goals that you might have. And so for short term goals, it might be saving for vacation. Maybe part of your goal is to have one family vacation a year. So setting up, now this is separate from that, from your emergency fund, because you're not going to touch that. But it is a good idea. You can set up a separate savings account for specifically for vacation or travel. Okay. And then build that into your budget and contribute monthly to that account. And in terms of your long term goals, those might include, again, college planning, as well as planning for retirement. So the idea is, again, we're looking to pay ourselves first. So making sure that you are setting up automated transfers to fund these accounts that are based on either your short and or long-term goals. Now, the third financial season of life that will help you create a life of financial abundance is the season of harvest. So now it's time to begin harvesting that all of the wealth and the seeds that you planted or your crop, in other words. So this is pre-retirement and legacy planning. So during this phase, often it occurs in between our 50s and our 60s. And it's really all about maximizing your wealth that you start to build and preparing for a secure retirement. Now, during this time, you want your focus shifts from growth to preservation, ensuring that your savings will support your lifestyle throughout retirement. And so you've amassed your wealth pretty much during these periods in your 50s and in your 60s. So it's about making sure that you're protecting what you have. But you still want to make sure that you're growing your wealth over time. But definitely your focus is on some preservation as well. And it's also a good time to start to plan your legacy and ensure that your financial affairs are in order. So, a couple of tips for this particular phase. Tip number one is to rebalance your investment portfolio. And that means adjust your investments to maybe reduce the overall risk, maybe become less aggressive. Like in your 20s and 30s, you can afford to be more aggressive with your investment portfolio because you have a longer time horizon. But as you get closer to when you plan to start pulling money out, you want to start to become more conservative. So, maximize the so you want to make sure that you adjust those investments if they're overly aggressive, to begin to reduce the risk and ensure stability in your retirement approach. The second tip is to maximize retirement contributions. There's some advantages of, if you're 50 and over, when it comes to making retirement contributions. There's a catch up. You have the opportunity to catch up if you're contributing to an IRA, and also catching up if you are contributing to a 401k. So, because you're in your high income earning years at this point, it's a great time to start to bump up those retirement assets when you turn 50, 50 or older. The third tip is to create or update your estate plan. A will or a trust ensures that your assets are distributed according to your wishes. And that's so important that, if it's not in writing, it's not, there's no guarantee that your wishes are going to be honored. So it is important to get that estate planning in order. Not only do you want to include would you like, or who would you like your assets to be inherited by, if something happened to you? Or are you looking at giving, or are there causes that you're passionate about? Making sure that the only way to make sure that your wishes are going to be honored is that if you have the right estate planning documents in place. Now, one action step that you can take during the season of harvest, which is your pre retirement and legacy planning uh, phase of life, is to meet with a financial planner, or an estate planner, to create and or review your plan. So if you're wanting to review your retirement plan, then you're going to want to meet with a financial planner that specializes in that. If it's strictly related to your estate, then you're going to want to meet with an estate planner in that situation. But the point is to make sure that you do have a clear withdrawal strategy for your savings that is going to sustain you during your retirement. And the key is to plan for a longer rather than a shorter retirement. Now, the fourth financial season of life that will help you to create a life of financial abundance is the season of enjoyment. That's retirement and wealth distribution. Now, this phase is your time to enjoy the fruits of your financial efforts. Whether with your wealth in place, the focus now is on managing your distributions from your retirement accounts and ensuring that your money is going to last throughout your lifetime. Now, this is also a time to focus on experiences, travel, or maybe giving back to your community. And a couple of tips for this stage. Tip one is to develop a withdrawal strategy. Plan how much to withdraw from your savings account each year to ensure sustainability. The second tip is to review your healthcare plan. Retirees cite that the biggest expense in retirement is healthcare. So it's so important to review your healthcare plan to make sure that you have a solid plan in place. Now, if you hopefully, well, if um you have look at your medical insurance. Also, it's a good time to consider long-term care insurance, or to cover any additional potential financial or medical needs. But also, even if you don't have a need for long-term care insurance, it's so important to have a long-term care strategy. So what is your strategy? If it turns out you need to have care, you're not able to care for yourself, or maybe you have a spouse or significant other, what is your strategy? Do you want to stay in your home? Who would you want to take care of you? Do you want your children to be your caregiver? Maybe do you want to be able to hire someone to come in? So thinking about those things and what is your long-term care strategy should you become incapacitated? And it is so important, especially if you're single. Thinking about what is my strategy should I become incapacitated? Now, the third tip is to plan your charitable giving. Now, if it aligns with your values, you want to explore ways to give back through charitable donations or even volunteer work. This is a great time, to volunteer because you have more time. Volunteer with organizations that you care about, or even as part of your estate plan, putting in a giving component to support the causes that you're passionate about. Now, one action step that you can take during the season of enjoyment, which is retirement and wealth distribution, is to schedule an annual financial review to adjust your withdrawal plan based on your lifestyle needs and the market conditions. And it's so important that you review your withdrawal strategy every year to make sure that you stay on track. Now, in conclusion, every stage of life offers new financial challenges and opportunities. By aligning your money habits with the season that you're in, you can stay on track towards your long-term financial goals. Remember that wealth building is not just a destination, it's about making intentional decisions along the way. No matter where you are on your financial journey, planting, nurturing, and harvesting your resources will help you to create a life of financial abundance. Let's recap what we covered today. Today we explored the 4 financial seasons of life, along with practical habits that you can adopt for each stage to ensure that you're always moving closer to financial abundance. The first stage, the season of planting, early career and wealth building. The second stage, the season of nurturing, family life and growing responsibilities. The third stage, the season of harvest, pre-retirement and legacy planning. And lastly, the season of enjoyment, which is retirement and wealth distribution. Now, I'd love for you to take some time to reflect on your current season that you're in and your relationship with money, and ask yourself these 3 questions to help get you to gain clarity and to motivate yourself into action. The first reflection question to ask is, what season of financial life am I currently in? And how can I align my money habits with this stage? The second question to ask is, am I saving and investing in a way that supports my long-term goals? And then lastly, the third question to ask is, what changes can I make today to better prepare for the next financial stage in my life? Are you ready to take the first step towards financial empowerment and success? If so, I'd love for you to join me for a powerful money power breakthrough call that will help you to unlock the key to transforming your relationship with money and creating the financial freedom that you desire. Together during this call, we will uncover what's holding you back from aligning your vision with your goals and identify the next inspired step to pave the way to ultimate financial freedom. Now, you don't want to miss this opportunity to for a brighter future for yourself and your business. So to learn more and apply to for this complimentary Money Power Breakthrough call, just go to pamelaplick.com/thank you. That's pamelaplick.com/thank you. Then you will access the link and schedule your call. Then after you've scheduled your call, then you check out my other tools and resources that will also help you to start unlocking your financial freedom and setting yourself up for long-term success. Now, in closing, I'd love to leave you with this final thought. Just as each season has its purpose, every stage of life offers opportunities to plant, nurture, and harvest financial success. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. And until next time, remember you can rise to your money power. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.